Hello, hello, hello everyone. This is Kim from K&RP, and today I would like to share with you day 12 of the Friendly Junk Journal People's 12 Days of Junk Journal gift tutorials hosted by Linda Israel. This is the final day, and I have to say I've really enjoyed doing these videos. Some of them were a bit of a challenge. Some days my arthritis is worse than others. But I think today's final one is going to be a lot of fun. So what I would like to start with is 2 file folders. I am going to trim off the old edge because they are old and kind of ratty. So I'm just going to stack them, take my quilting ruler, and just trim off the really worn parts of the file folders. Okay, I should have changed the blade. Okay, so for the embellishment books, what I'd like to do is take one of the file folders and use it as a cover, and the other one I'm going to use for the insert pages. So I'm going to take my quilting ruler and measure from leaving it folded in half. Full of grunge because it is old. Using my quilting ruler, you could use any ruler that you've got. If you've got a paper cutter, excellent. This is what I use. And I'm going to cut a 4-inch strip off the bottom. I have lined up the bottom edge and the side, and I'm going to cut that at 4 inches. And then I am going to take my ruler and measure 6 inches. It's a 6-inch ruler. So I just need to do the width of it. And I will use this as a little pocket after, should I decide on. So what I'm going to do then is I am going to take, oh, that edge didn't trim down, that's okay, and fold into the center, increase it down, and I'm going to fold this one into the center, increase it down. It would probably have been a good idea to score. I don't have a square. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the 4-inch strip. I'm going to take it and fold it to the folded center on both sides. And because the file folder wasn't folded exactly in half, one side will be just a bit bigger than the other, which is fine. So these are going to be insert pages for the embellishment book. I'm going to turn these into pockets by gluing down and cutting partial circles. I might add a couple of tuck spots as we go along, but for now, this is the 2 insert pages that I'm going to do. I'm going to take this file folder, cut it down the center where the fold is, cut it right along the fold. Maybe I'll do it just a bit smaller because that fold is old. Let's do it for the side that I've already trimmed the edge down. So I'm doing it just a little bit above the fold because the fold was pretty ratty. And if I fold it this way, these pages will fit nicely inside with room to spare. So then I will take it, fold it in half, crease it down, and that's going to be the cover and the back. I am going to cover this in something, I'm not sure what yet, but I'm definitely going to cover it. And then this little piece that I took off from the other file folder, I am going to use as pockets on the cover. decided. So I'm going to find something to decorate the pages with, and I will be back. Okay, I am back, and what I have decided to cover the file folder in is this wonderful tissue paper that I picked up to use to wrap stuff when I am at craft sales. If you can see, it has some wonderful old advertising on it, and I think that's going to be just a really nice cover for this. Yes, the printing on the inside of the file folder will show through, but I am planning on putting some pockets, and I should be able to disguise that pretty good. So I am going to glue this down. I'm just going to use a glue stick and cover all these pieces, and I will return. Okay, I have covered all the front cover inside and outside with the tissue paper. I have only covered one side of what I will be using as pockets for tissue paper with the tissue paper, because the others are going to be inside and you're not going to see them anyway. And I covered that thin strip that I'm going to use as text spots on the front cover, or the cover also with the tissue paper. I have this amount of tissue paper left from one sheet, and I think that's pretty good use of the tissue paper. One thing I am going to do is, because there is the tab from the original file folder, I'm going to turn this one into more of a tuck spot than a pocket. So I'm just going to do a bit of a wavy cut along the edge, or, well, creating an edge, and so that will be a tuck spot. That's fine if the file folder is showing through, because it's good for people to know what you have made things out of. So now what I am going to do is I am going to take my watered down brown paint that I use for edging, because I don't have ink. I am going to take my paintbrush and I am going to edge all the pieces with the brown paint. So I will do this and I will come back when they are done. Oh, did you see? I keep doing things off camera. Sorry, folks. So I will just do this all the way around all the pieces, and before I put it together, I will come back. Okay, so as I was edging the pieces, I realized that the pieces that I have cut don't completely cover. Where did I put them? The cover and back is far too large. There's a lot of waste space. So I took the last piece of the tissue paper and the other part of the second file folder. I had used part of it for something as I was practicing this, and so I covered the remainder with the tissue paper. I will trim it down and edge it, and probably use these as some tuck spots just to help build up the height. I will test it and be back. Hi, I'm back. Everything is edged. I did take that other piece of the tissue paper and the other part of the other file folder, and I cut just flat pieces out with a bit of a scalloped edge. I am going to use them as tuck spots. I also took a little piece of that other file folder, and I cut out a organic kind of shape, edged it, and I'm going to use that as the title for the book. I did take my 2-inch Fiskars punch, and I have a mark on it that I use for when I'm cutting out edges, so that you can see that they are pockets. So I did that and edged it with the paint, and now we're going to start gluing and putting it together. So I'm not going to use the glue stick for this, obviously. And it also didn't help that while I was off camera, I knocked it onto the floor. It got covered in dog hair. I have a big dog with quite long hair, and I have to really clean that off before I use it again on a project. Things happen. Okay, so I have my cover. I'm going to start with this. I did cut someplace that small thin strip so that it will fit. I will have to trim this edge just a little bit, I think, and I will also have to round that edge off and color it, but that's fine. What I would like to do with the front and back is I did cut that other file folder, and I'm just going to glue that down first as a tuck spot. So I'm just going to glue along the inside edge beside the fold. Just put some liquid glue. Maybe. Come on. There we go. I'm just doing a thin bead along the one edge and across the bottom, just so that, because it's going to be under the front pocket, I don't want things to get snagged. And since this is about here, I'm just going to put it maybe an inch from the bottom. Making sure I can still fold the book. And I have a piece of sponge so I can mop the excess glue. Okay. We'll just hold that down for a second so it will stick up at this corner. I think it will stay down now. Now I'm going to take the other piece that I had done the same thing. I did a bit of a scalloped edge, and it's smaller. And I am going to put it at about the same height, a little bit lower, I think. So it will definitely be tucked into that front, the pockets that I'm putting on the bottom. And the same thing, I'm going to glue along the side towards the spine and the very bottom edge. I'm leaving space on the spine so that it will still fold. I'm not too worried about the glue coming at the bottom because that will be covered. I may add some more paint to the spine, the inside spine. Or maybe it won't be seen once the pages are in. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I have 2 tuck spots on the cover. This piece needs a trim on the corner, so I'm just going to hold them together, flip it over, and use my scissors and trim so that it matches the front edge. And it can use just a bit of a touch of the brown paint, but I will do that after because it will take a while to dry. So I'm just going to line it up, and on this one I'm going to glue the sides and along the bottom because this will be more like a pocket. And I will line it up with the tuck spot above. See that. Okay, so now the inside of the front cover has a tuck spot and a pocket. I should have my glue mat down, not my cutting mat. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with this other little piece. It has a rounded edge. I just may have to touch up some of the paint. Again, I'm going to go along both short edges and along the bottom. Let's do this on the camera so people can see. And I know that gluing is very boring. I promise I'll be quick, or as quick as I can. Hold it down a little bit. Okay, now I will put the cover with its tucks and pockets aside to dry, and I will do the inside pages. So for these, I'm just going to do glue along one side and the bottom, the same with this, one side and the bottom, and I will do this off camera so that you're not bored. And this one I will do the side and the bottom, and this one also the side and the bottom. I will return.